Hello there, and today I'm going to be making a video on what's underrated and overrated, as you know by the title. Now, sorry if this intro comes across as weird. I don't even know what to make of an intro. If you've been checking my channel out, you will know that I've been gone for a while. For that, I have came back from finals, and I'm now ready to make a video on this. I have to say, no problem to what people think is underrated and overrated. My point isn't even about what people think is underrated or overrated and how wrong they are. That is not the point of this video at all. Instead, this video will more so focus, I guess, on how, like, just the basics of what can be underrated and overrated. So I'll begin. I'm sorry if this intro is quite long. Alright, so what I want to start off with is I don't think underrated is given to everything, like even if it's like so bad, but that's only for like everyone else but not you, but you come across liking it. Like, let's say that's an example, and for that I have to say I don't necessarily make something necessarily underrated. I mean, in your eyes, yes. Now, this is kind of hypocritical because I did say Metal Gear Rising Revengeance was underrated, and I do think it is underrated. But when I say that, I think it's more so me. Because in my thoughts, I would say it is, but in general, it wouldn't necessarily be underrated by law. But most people already know that, yeah, it's just what you think. You think, oh, it's underrated, okay, that's fine. Same thing with overrated, it's just a little bit different. In fact, it's the exact same thing but backwards. For me, though, a few things in my head that come across as overrated would be, you guessed it, nothing. But surprisingly, I can think of a lot of underrated things, like how I think, again, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is underrated. Another game I think that's underrated would be any of the Assassin's Creed games, I would say would be the ones that, didn't do so well. But those are just examples. Those are the basics, of what I think is underrated. One game, though, that I might mention that I did like, so much so, that I would say is actually underrated. Could be any of TT Games' games after 2014. And I'm talking about the Lego Batman game that released a few years back. So yeah, now that we got onto that, you already know what I think is like that. But here's my reason for specifically what that is. I don't hear a lot of good things about it. I did not hear that a lot of people played it. So what I think for me is that because I liked it and because I haven't heard much news about it, I think it's underrated. It even goes for like movies. Like, there's this movie made in like 2009. Some of you might know what it is if you don't know. It was called Nine. It was this animated movie that was kind of terrifying. I remember watching as a kid. That movie is an underrated movie in my eyes, but overall, those examples would not be underrated. Okay, and for music, I don't want to talk too much about this because nothing in music I would say I have like a belief that this thing is underrated, this thing is overrated. It's okay if you think that is. For any of the things I talked about, again, I shouldn't even be needing to mention this again. So yeah, I guess that's really it. Sometimes, though, I feel like some things just really aren't good, but I hear a lot of great news about it. But that's just, well, I don't know, life? I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyways, thank you for this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace and goodbye.